Okay, so it's early May 2020 and the pandemic is in full swing. Grocery store shelves are looking bare, and I'm wondering if food shortages are next. I decide to visit the garden department inside Walmart and choose a couple vegetable plants to see if I can possibly grow my own food. Now, I've never really done this before, so at this point, I don't even know where to begin. I start with tomato, basil, and watermelon seedlings. I've never considered myself a green thumb type, so I definitely don't want to go crazy buying a whole bunch of plants I have no clue what to even do with. Ta-da! Here we are on July 9th, approximately 8 weeks later. After daily monitoring, much watering, and fighting off caterpillars, my beautiful seedling that started off at about, maybe 4 inches tall, is now looking fantastic. I bought her a couple dowels and tied one of her vines to it so she can start growing vertically. I made sure to put her in a really sunny spot on top of my deck where she would be getting tons of sunshine and be protected from insects and wildlife. She must have really liked that spot because her lovely yellow flowers bloomed, and now she even has gorgeous cherry tomatoes growing throughout. Here we are 12 days later on July 21st, and my lovely little tomato plant is alive and thriving. Her tomatoes are now turning red and getting ready for harvest. Now keep in mind, I have been feeding her some organic compost such as crushed eggshells and pieces of leftover celery, and she really seems to be liking it. Here we are 6 days later on July 27th, just under 3 months from the time I bought her as a tiny little seedling at the store, and we have finally harvested our first bunch of tomatoes. We were able to collect about 19 cherry tomatoes. Surprisingly, this tomato plant has been incredibly easy to care for. As a beginner, I honestly did not know what to expect, but this little plant has not only produced beautiful fruit, but has given me the confidence and inspiration to continue on my gardening journey. Here we are, only 5 days later on August 1st, and my lovely little plant continues to amaze me. She not only has new yellow blooms, but also her cherry tomatoes have ripened to a beautiful red color, ready to be harvested yet again. Now, while harvesting my tomatoes, I noticed the leaves on my plants are starting to get spots on them. I'm not really sure if those are sunspots from too much sun or actually some kind of disease, possibly from overwatering. Whatever the case, I'm going to go ahead and remove those leaves from the plant. Just in case it is some kind of disease, I wouldn't want it to spread and take over my entire plant. Now, looking even closer, I notice not only do the leaves have the spots, but so do some of the cherry tomatoes. This one even has a crack. I think I've read that happens when they get too much water at one time. With all the summer rain we've been getting, it really wouldn't surprise me. Now here we are on August 5th, just 4 days later, and my lovely little tomato plant is still thriving. Despite having spots on some of her leaves, she's still producing plump, juicy red tomatoes. Now here we are on August 24th, 19 days later. As you can see, she is no longer looking as alive and as beautiful as she used to be. I went away on vacation for a week, and between the caterpillars wreaking havoc on her, the inconsistent watering, I came home to a not so happy plant. I had to prune a bunch of dead yellow spotted leaves off of her, and now she looks virtually bald. With that being said, this little plant is a fighter and still has a zest for life. She's still producing yellow blooms and lovely fruit as well. Now here we are on September 2nd, 9 days later, and my beautiful little tomato plant is still producing like a champion. I went with my gut instinct and slowed down the watering. The weather is getting colder in my area, and I could see she just doesn't require as much water as she did during those hot summer months. As you can see, her leaves don't look as spotted as before, and that's a really good thing. However, the insects, on the other hand, never take a break. They are relentless when they come across a healthy, yummy tomato plant. But despite her challenges, this gorgeous little plant was a fighter. By the end of the summer, she produced over 150 cherry tomatoes. When I started this journey, I wasn't sure she'd even produce one. Taking on the challenge of gardening was an incredibly fulfilling experience for me. I'm amazed how much I learned through nature and observation. Patience, dedication, and nurturing has proven to produce amazing results. Not only can we apply these skills to plants, but also to humans as well. Living things require love, and as the Bible says in 1 Corinthians, let all things you do be done with love. I hope you enjoyed this video regarding my journey growing tomatoes for the very first time. I hope you got some knowledge out of it, and I hope it was very informative. If you like this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and maybe even comment. Thanks for watching, and see you at the next video. Bye-bye.